Knowledge transforms destiny in ways that few other forces can. Throughout history, individuals and entire civilizations have been shaped, elevated, and redirected because of the knowledge they gained and applied. Knowledge has the power to move a person from obscurity to influence, from poverty to prosperity, from despair to hope. It is not simply the accumulation of facts, but the internalization of truth, wisdom, and understanding that molds character, sharpens vision, and unlocks potential. When one commits to learning and growing, doors begin to open that otherwise would remain closed, and paths are revealed that would have remained hidden. This is why knowledge is often referred to as light, for it illuminates the way forward and dispels the darkness of ignorance. Ignorance keeps people bound in limitation. Without knowledge, individuals remain stuck in cycles of mediocrity, repeating mistakes, unable to see the bigger picture of life. Knowledge provides the ability to see beyond immediate circumstances, to imagine possibilities, and to take steps toward a greater future. A person who lacks knowledge may feel powerless, but the moment they begin to learn, their destiny begins to shift. The mind that awakens to new ideas suddenly sees opportunities where none seemed to exist before. The person who once believed they were trapped discovers that the key to freedom lies in understanding, in applying what they learn, and in making choices informed by wisdom. One of the greatest gifts knowledge gives is vision. When you learn, you see farther than your present situation. A farmer who learns new methods can multiply his harvest. A student who gains education can rise from poverty to influence. An inventor who applies scientific understanding can change the way millions of people live. In every generation, the people who shaped history were those who acquired and applied knowledge in ways that others had not considered. They dared to learn more, to question, to expand their thinking, and because of that, they altered their own destiny and the destiny of countless others. Knowledge also instills confidence. When a person is informed, they walk with assurance. They no longer live in fear of the unknown, because knowledge arms them with tools to face challenges. Fear thrives in ignorance, but confidence grows in understanding. A doctor who studies medicine does not fear disease in the same way that the uninformed do, because their knowledge equips them to respond with skill. A leader who understands people does not fear conflict, because they are prepared to handle it with wisdom. The more a person learns, the more secure they become, and this security strengthens their ability to pursue greater goals and overcome greater obstacles. This change in perspective inevitably transforms destiny, because a confident person dares to take steps that an ignorant person would never consider. Knowledge is not only about academic learning or technical skills, but also about self-awareness and emotional intelligence. To know oneself is to be equipped with one of the greatest forms of knowledge. Many people stumble through life unaware of their strengths, blind to their weaknesses, and uncertain of their purpose. But when a person gains knowledge of who they are, what they are capable of, and what they are meant to do, their destiny begins to align with their potential. They make choices that reflect their gifts and talents. They avoid traps that once held them back, and they pursue paths that lead to fulfillment. This kind of knowledge transforms not just their external circumstances, but their inner world, shaping them into someone who lives intentionally rather than by accident. The transformative power of knowledge can be seen in countless real-life examples. A child born into poverty who discovers the joy of reading can climb out of their circumstances, guided by the wisdom and inspiration found in books. A community without access to clean water can be transformed when someone gains the knowledge to dig wells or purify water. An individual bound by destructive habits can change their life when they acquire knowledge about discipline, self-control, and healthier choices. What once seemed impossible becomes achievable, not because the world itself has changed, but because the person has been changed by what they know. Yet knowledge by itself is not enough. It must be applied. Information without action is like a seed left unplanted. It holds potential but bears no fruit. True transformation of destiny occurs when knowledge is put into practice. A person may know the importance of honesty, but until they live truthfully, their character is not transformed. They may know the principles of financial wisdom, but until they apply them, their future remains unchanged. Knowledge transforms destiny when it moves from the mind into action, shaping decisions, habits, and lifestyles. This is where the power of knowledge truly comes alive. Another dimension of knowledge that alters destiny is its ability to break generational cycles. Families often pass down habits, beliefs, and patterns that either limit or elevate their children. Without knowledge, negative cycles continue unchecked. But when one member of a family gains insight into a better way of living, they can break free from patterns of poverty, addiction, or dysfunction and establish a new legacy. Their children and grandchildren inherit not only their material progress, but also the wisdom that made it possible. In this way, knowledge does not just transform one destiny, but reshapes the future of entire generations. Knowledge also builds resilience. Life inevitably brings trials, challenges, and suffering. Without knowledge, these moments can crush a person, leaving them hopeless. But when someone has studied, prepared, and understood the nature of struggle, they can endure with strength. Knowledge provides perspective, showing that difficulties are temporary and that growth often comes through hardship. It equips a person with strategies to cope, to rise, and to keep pressing forward. This resilience keeps a destiny intact even when storms threaten to derail it. Furthermore, knowledge fuels creativity and innovation. When the mind is enriched with information, it begins to connect ideas in new ways. Solutions emerge that were once hidden. Progress in every field, science, art, technology, medicine, was born from knowledge that ignited creativity. A single insight has the power to redirect a life or even to transform the world. The person who continually feeds their mind positions themselves to make breakthroughs that can elevate their destiny far beyond what they once imagined. The pursuit of knowledge also brings humility. The more one learns, the more one realizes how much more there is to learn. This humility keeps a person teachable and open to growth. Arrogance closes doors, but humility opens them, inviting mentors, teachers, and experiences that further enrich life. A humble learner continues to rise, while one who thinks they know it all becomes stagnant. In this sense, knowledge transforms destiny not only by what it teaches directly, but also by the posture it creates in a person, the posture of lifelong learning. The destiny of nations has also been transformed by knowledge. Countries that invest in education, science, and innovation rise in influence and prosperity, while those that neglect learning often struggle in cycles of poverty and instability. Knowledge empowers people to govern wisely, to build sustainable economies, to protect the environment, and to foster peace. Ignorance, on the other hand, breeds corruption, conflict, and decline. The destiny of entire societies hinges on the value they place on knowledge, for it is the foundation of progress and stability. At a personal level, the richest lives are those devoted to continual learning. Success is not merely reaching a destination, but growing along the way. Those who keep reading, observing, listening, and reflecting never stop expanding their potential. Even in old age, they continue to evolve, their destiny unfolding with every lesson learned. This lifelong pursuit of knowledge keeps life vibrant and purposeful, proving that transformation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing journey. Ultimately, knowledge transforms destiny because it changes the way a person thinks. Thoughts shape decisions, decisions shape actions, and actions shape outcomes. When knowledge enters the mind, it reshapes thoughts, providing clarity where there was confusion, hope where there was despair, and direction where there was aimlessness. This shift in thinking changes everything about the way a person lives and therefore changes the trajectory of their life. In this way, knowledge acts as the compass that points toward a brighter, more meaningful future. Do you want me to make this sound like a Billy Graham style sermon with short, powerful, emotional lines instead of essay-like paragraphs? That way, it will carry the same weight and delivery style as his famous messages. True richness beyond money is a truth that has been taught for generations. Yet in our fast, moving world, it is easily forgotten. Many people assume that wealth is measured by the size of a bank account, the luxury of a home, or the possessions one can display, but that is a narrow definition of what it means to be rich. Real richness is not about what you hold in your hands, but about what you carry in your heart and soul. It is about the experiences you gather, the character you develop, the relationships you nurture, and the peace you maintain when everything else around you seems uncertain. When people pursue money alone, they often discover that it cannot satisfy the deepest hunger of the human heart. Money can buy comfort, it can provide security for a time, and it can open doors to opportunities, but it cannot purchase love, meaning, joy, or fulfillment. The most successful individuals in terms of wealth have testified that material riches alone left them feeling empty, searching for something more enduring. That is because true richness extends far beyond material wealth. It is measured in values, virtues, and the legacy a life leaves behind. Knowledge is one form of richness that money cannot measure. When a person commits to learning, to reading, to growing in wisdom, they gain a treasure that cannot be stolen or lost. Knowledge enriches the mind and broadens horizons, allowing one to make decisions with clarity and understanding. A wise person may not always possess great material wealth, yet they live in abundance because their mind is filled with ideas, solutions, and vision. Books, experiences, and mentors contribute to a richness that endures far beyond the lifespan of material possessions. Another aspect of richness beyond money is the wealth of relationships. To have people who truly care about you, who walk with you in times of joy and stand by you in moments of struggle, is a kind of wealth that money can never replace. Families bound by love, friendships strengthened by trust, and communities built on compassion are treasures greater than gold. The person who dies with millions but no meaningful connection to others is poor indeed, but the one who departs this world surrounded by love has lived richly. Character is also part of true wealth. Integrity, honesty, humility, and kindness are values that shape the quality of a person's life and the impact they leave behind. A person of character may not always be financially rich, but they live with dignity, respect, and influence. When people remember you not for your possessions, but for your goodness, your generosity, your strength in adversity, then you have accumulated a richness that lasts beyond your lifetime. Peace of mind and inner joy are treasures that cannot be purchased with money. Many people chase wealth thinking it will bring them happiness, yet anxiety, stress, and fear often accompany great financial gain. True richness comes from contentment, from knowing that life is more than accumulation, and from cultivating gratitude for what you already have. Gratitude turns little into enough and transforms possessions into blessings. Contentment is a kind of wealth that shields the heart from greed and allows one to enjoy life fully, regardless of circumstances. Purpose gives a life richness that money cannot provide. When a person discovers why they are here, what they are meant to do, and who they are meant to serve, their life gains a depth that no amount of money could equal. Purpose directs energy, fuels passion, and gives meaning even to the struggles and sacrifices one endures. A life lived with purpose leaves behind a legacy that continues to enrich others long after the individual is gone. Experiences also shape the richness of life. Traveling to new places, meeting new people, learning new skills, and facing challenges head on all contribute to a wealth of memories and lessons. Money may make such experiences easier, but it is not the guarantee of them. There are countless simple, inexpensive experiences that bring joy and shape identity. Watching a sunset, sharing laughter, or helping someone in need. Such moments add depth and value to life, enriching it far beyond the reach of material possessions. Spiritual richness is perhaps the highest form of wealth beyond money. Faith, hope, and love anchor the soul in ways that money never can. When a person has spiritual grounding, they are equipped to face trials, losses, and disappointments without losing hope. Faith provides strength, direction, and an unshakable foundation, and love gives meaning to everything a person does. Spiritual richness allows one to stand firm when material wealth fades, knowing that the soul is sustained by something eternal. Time itself is a wealth that far surpasses money. Money can be gained and lost, but time once gone never returns. A person who learns to use their time wisely, investing it in growth, service, and love, becomes rich in ways money cannot rival. Many people chase financial gain only to regret wasted years, while those who spent time nurturing relationships, pursuing growth, and serving others find that they lived with a richness no fortune could equal. Generosity is another key aspect of richness beyond money. A person who gives freely of their time, talents, and resources discovers a joy that hoarding wealth never brings. Generosity multiplies blessings, not only for those who receive, but also for the one who gives. The wealth of a generous life is measured in the impact it leaves, in the lives uplifted, and in the gratitude it inspires. The act of giving itself brings a richness of spirit that surpasses the act of earning. True richness also lies in resilience, the ability to rise after a fall, to learn from failures, and to keep moving forward with courage. Life inevitably brings hardship, but those who develop resilience become wealthy in strength and wisdom. Their scars become reminders of survival, their struggles become lessons, and their victories become inspirations for others. Such inner strength is more valuable than any financial reserve because it equips a person to endure and overcome whatever comes their way. When we reflect on all these dimensions of richness, knowledge, relationships, character, peace, purpose, experiences, spirituality, time, generosity, and resilience, we see that life's greatest treasures are not material. Money may support them, but it cannot replace them. True richness is found in the quality of a person's life, in the legacy they build, and in the love and wisdom they leave behind. Would you like me to expand this into a Billy Graham style spoken message, filled with passion and simple, powerful sentences, so it feels more like a live sermon than a written essay?